In a Florida resort, far from the front lines, the future of Ukraine is being drawn behind closed doors. As Russian strikes intensify and pressure mounts on all sides, Washington and Kyiv enter their most delicate talks yet. A battle over borders, sovereignty, and the shape of peace itself. Negotiators from the United States and Ukraine held a high-stakes meeting in Florida on November 30th, pushing forward Washington's proposed framework to end Russia's war, even as new waves of Russian strikes hit Ukrainian cities. The 5-hour session, described by Ukrainian officials as difficult and intense, focused almost entirely on the issue that has become the heart of the emerging peace effort, where a de facto border between Ukraine and Russia would be drawn under a potential deal. The talks took place at US envoy Steve Witkoff's Shell Bay Golf Club near Miami, a discreet setting chosen for what officials acknowledge are some of the most sensitive negotiations since Russia's full-scale invasion. After an opening round in a wider format, discussions narrowed to a small group of 3 officials from each side, with territorial control dominating the agenda. The US delegation included Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and Senior Advisor Jared Kushner. Representing Ukraine were National Security Advisor Rustem Umerov, Military Chief of Staff General Andriy Hnatov, and Deputy Head of Military Intelligence Vadim Skibitsky.
We had another very productive session, building off Geneva, building off the events of this week. As I told you earlier this morning, our goal here is to end the war, but it's more than just to end the war. We don't just want to end the war, we also want to help Ukraine be safe forever, so never again will they face another invasion, and equally importantly, we want them to enter an age of true prosperity.
The territorial question remains the most politically explosive element of the negotiations. Russian President Vladimir Putin is insisting Russia will not stop until it controls the entire Donbas region in eastern Ukraine. Washington, however, is seeking Ukrainian concessions in that area to bring Moscow to the table, a demand Kyiv finds deeply painful but is engaging under growing pressure to find a sustainable end to the war. After the wider meeting ended, Umerov held a one-on-one session with Witkoff before briefing President Volodymyr Zelensky. One Ukrainian official later told Axios the exchange was intense but not negative, adding that Kyiv's position is anchored in ensuring the country's survival and preventing future aggression.
We were discussing about the future of Ukraine. We discussed all the important matters that are important for Ukraine, for Ukrainian people, and the US was super supportive. We already had a successful meeting in Geneva, and today we continued this success. So at the moment, this meeting was productive and successful. On the later stages, hopefully, we will keep you updated.
Meanwhile, the Kremlin said early December 1st that the American delegation would meet with Putin on December 2nd.
Yes, the meeting with Witkoff has indeed been moved to tomorrow. He himself said so yesterday. We have already stated that in the interests of ensuring the success of the process, and we are committed to that success.
Despite the complexity of the talks, both sides signaled optimism at the end of the meeting. Speaking aboard Air Force One, President Donald Trump said he believed there's a good chance we can make a deal, after being briefed by his team. A senior US official also characterized the session as positive. Ukrainian officials say Umerov will meet Zelensky in Paris on December 1st to provide a detailed assessment. Witkoff is expected to fly to Moscow the same day for talks with Putin. As one Ukrainian official noted, the next phase now hinges on Moscow. The main question is where the Russians stand and if their intentions are real.